Hello guys, this is Shadows YT and today here for my first video, and the title was called What if Asta had sword magic and was Yuno's brother. So this takes first to start off with the story. This takes us back to when the elf massacre was happening, and instead this time the first wizard king's sister, instead of only having one child, was having twins. And unfortunately everyone there died, same events happening. Then we skip to when Asta and Yuno were left at the porch of the village. Now, unlike in canon, in this one, Asta and Yuno seem to be very chill, and at a young age, the priest can send high amounts of mana from them. So they grow up like usual until one day when they go and the dude tries to steal Yuno's necklace. But unlike in canon, Asta is also there with him, and out of nowhere he just awakens his sword magic from rage and actually impales the god, leaving him in critical condition. Then he takes the pendant away from him, and Yuno run away. Now we skip to when Asta and Yuno are at the age of, I believe, 15, and they're at the Grimoire Tower. Now Asta and Yuno, when they get there, people are like, look at those commoners. They shouldn't even be in our presence. Like, that's what the nobles are saying. And then the Grimoire keeper introduces them all, and then the Grimoire start going down. Then all of a sudden, the room starts to glow, and all people can see is a Grimoire coming down to Yuno. And when they look at it, it's a 4-leaf, and everyone is like, a 4-leaf? No way. The nobles is like, how does he get a 4-leaf Grimoire? We should have 4 leaves. We'll teach this commoner after this. And then a few more people get the Grimoires, and then they're all looking at Asta and see he doesn't have one. And Asta's just sitting there calmly, and they're like, look at him. He's so pathetic. He doesn't even have a Grimoire. Then all of a sudden, the light in the room starts to glow again. But this time, it's a light. The light is like a light bluish color. And then a Grimoire comes down to Asta. It's a 4-leaf also, and they're like, what? A 4-leaf? Impossible. How did 2 commoners get a 4-leaf Grimoire? And then after they leave the tower, this time Asta and Yuno are working together, and they encounter the 2 nobles. But the chain mage isn't going to mess with them this time, since there's 2 people with 4-leaf Grimoires, and he's not trying to mess with that. So the nobles encounter Asta and Yuno, and they challenge them. They're like, we're going to teach you a lesson. And then Asta and Yuno Asta just says, sword magic, 100 katana blades, and all you see is 100 katanas appear from behind Asta, and they're like, how does he have this much magic? Then Yuno says, wind magic, and then all the blades just get surrounded by Yuno's wind, improving the blade's sharpness and their power. Then they just launch. Then Asta and Yuno do a combined spell and just launch the blades at the nobles. And they're not trying to kill them, like they don't kill them, but they are bad in like bad condition. Like they had to get out of there. They had cuts all over their body. And then the fist bump happens as usual. So we get to the training. Asta and Yuno are just training their magic. They're just training. And in this one, Austin isn't really strong because he doesn't really focus on his body. He just focuses on he just focuses on his magic like Yuno. So he has that slim shape. Like he's skinny but not too skinny. The same, and he's also a little bit taller. He's at like Yuno's chin. So they're training and training until it's the day of them to go to the capital. But in this one, Asta also has magic, so instead of them having to walk there, they both just fly towards the capital, so it takes quicker. Now, when they get there, they're both in awe. They're not showing it, but they're both in awe. And Asta's like, hey, when I become the Wizard King, I'll let you stay in the castle. And Yuno is like, no, when I become Wizard King, I'll let you stay in the castle. And then they both just smirk. And they go up to the Grimoire checker. And Yuno goes first. And he's like, the dude is like, what? 4-leaf? I never seen one of these in my life before. Well, at least I can die happy now. Then Asta is right behind Yuno. And unlike in canon, Asta doesn't take the purple snake because he can sense the magic coming from it. So Asta walks up and he's like, what? No way. Another 4-leaf? And he's like, and they're both from Haw's village. And when they get in there, none of the birds come close to them. None of them. And Asta and just standing by each other, just sitting down waiting for exams. Oh, I forgot to mention, Asta looks like this in the picture. Since the first Wizard King's sister married the leader of the elves, Asta looks like the first Wizard King. He has her side. And Yuno looks the same, but he has white hair and the same color eyes as Asta. So I get in there, and none of the birds come next to them. The counter with Yami doesn't happen since Asta is just sitting right there. And then the fireworks go off, showing that the exams are about to start. At first, I believe it was the academic one, and Asta and just ace it, get 100. Then next, I believe it was flying, and Asta and are just doing it with ease, and the captains are taking note of this. And the captain from the Golden Dawn, Vengeance, he's like, I need both of them on my team. I can tell that they're reincarnations of elves. Then we get to the plant growing part, and Asta, easily grows the plant. Then we get to the creation part. Just makes a wind sword. And Asta, he uses his swords and he forms them, and they look like the statue of the first Wizard King back at Todd's village. And everybody's like, whoa, look at how much money they have. Then we get to the fight part. Vengeance is like you can fight anyone here, but unlike in canon, Asta and are together. But here's the twist. Unlike in canon, Seke doesn't want to go anywhere near Asta. The noble still challenges but his brother, let's just say the noble has a brother, and they both have the same magic, and they challenge Asta and to a 2v2 battle. And Asta and accept. So when it's their time to go up there, they ask Captain Vengeance, is it okay for them to do a 2v2? And he says, sure. I mean, I did say you can fight anyone here. So we start off with the mages. They use the lightning mages. They use their most powerful attacks. And Asta just uses, like, you know those light swords the first Wizard King used in, like, the intro of Black Clover? Asta does that, but instead of light swords, they're actually real swords. And Yuno just amps them with his wind magic. And they do say, combo spell, gigantic wind swords. And they just launch them at the nobles. And mind you, they're barely using any of their mana. They send it towards the nobles. And it goes through the lightning magic. And actually, just from the sheer pressure alone of the blades, both of the nobles get knocked out, and Asta and Yuno are declared the winners. So when we get to the captain choosing, like in canon, Yuno gets all the captain's hands raised and picks Gold and Dawn since it's the closest to becoming Wizard King. Then it's Asta's turn. All the captains raise their hand. But unlike in canon, in this one, Asta is going to go to the Golden Dawn. You may be wondering why is that. Well, it's because he is a reincarnation of an elf. So when the elf attack on the kingdom happens, Asta and Yuno will turn into the elves. Plus, it's for plot reasons, just because I said so. So they both go to the Golden Dawn. So when they're heading back to the base with Captain Vengeance, he's asking, what are their magics? And Yuno's like wind magic, and Asta's like sword magic. And he's like, interesting. They get back to the base and they get greeted by everyone, but everyone's not so friendly towards them since they are just commoners. So they get there, and for the time that they're there, since they're in the Golden Dawn, they're getting like mini missions, like gaining stars and stuff. And that's why I'm leaving this video off for part 1. Let's get I'm not going to do it like go actually wrote. Anyway, see you guys.